Welcome back once again to another video. I just finished, the full live stream. That's gonna be, I believe I'm gonna drop it in the description. And instead of, uploading the full reaction on the channel, like a video, I decided to actually just come here and give, I believe, a summary, you can say, of all that's going on in version 2.6. Especially because if you watch that video, my audio is actually shit. Now my audio, the stream audio is too low, so it's kind of shitty. And since I wouldn't watch a video like that, I won't put out a video like that as well. And this version actually brings a lot of new and awesome quality of life, along with some other things that, if not listed here, I will also comment on them, just so we're on the same page when the update drops. So first things first, we have the two new main quest chapters of version 2.6, okay, which I believe will be divided in the two halves. So in the first half, we're gonna have the entire Augusta and Hunting Grounds lore, right, in Bison's Burning Hand. And on the second half, which is when Yuno drops, we're gonna have a quest more focused on her and her shenanigans on Baimu's Faded Light. Okay, I might be wrong about this division, but that's how I see that's gonna work. Then we have something that I was actually surprised to have, which is 10 pulls on a character banner and 10 pulls on a weapon banner, for a total of 10 pull value just by logging into the game, which is kind of great if you want to go for any of these two characters. A little bit of currency is never bad. We're also going to be getting Sangui Plateau, I believe that's how you say it, which is a beautiful new area. I really like it. This screenshot shows everything, right? I really want to explore the ruins region. It looked like it was destroyed. It was like everything was turned to stone. So I really want to check that out. I really want to see what happened there. I'm really curious on this new region. And again, beautiful new region. I just hope to God it's not as bad optimized as Septimon was when it was first released, because that was horrible. For the new echoes, we have the False Sovereign, we have the Chorosaurus, and the Lady of the Sea, which we can not only challenge as a material boss, but also as a hologram, which is really cool. I even called that during stream that they would do that, and they did. For me, the most unique one is the False Sovereign. I really want to understand what he is, because, if he has an important name, it's probably important for the story, I'm not gonna lie. We're also getting 6 new Nightmare Echoes, which, just like for Lova's, will be farmable in a separate spawning camp without consuming any wave plates. So if you're gonna get Augusta, for example, and you don't have her set ready, you can just go there, farm these guys, and it's the same thing as for Lova. Okay, and here we come to the meat of the update, which are the new echoes. So the Crown of Valor, which is obviously for Augusta. It's also a 3-piece set, both of them are. And upon gaining a shield, increase the Resonator's attack by 6% and crit damage by 4% per 4 seconds, which can be triggered and stackable. So I'm not sure if this is a unique thing, like only the character equipping the set can proc it, or if, for example, you switch out from your character with the set, gaining a shield and switch back if he's gonna be buffed or not. I'm not sure, but with the information I currently have, it feels like it's only the current Resonator. Okay, then we have probably Yuno's set, Law of Harmony, where casting an echo skill grants 30% heavy attack damage bonus to the caster, and all resonators on the team will gain 4% echo skill damage for 30 seconds, which stacks. And the echoes that trigger this effect is cleared when the effect disappears. And when you have 4 stacks, if you cast a new echo skill, it refreshes. So pretty interesting echo sets. Now, one thing I want to point out, okay, is if you noticed, the last 3 echo sets were hyper-specific as well. Not hyper-specific, other characters can use them as well, but they're not optimized for everyone. Okay, they have a clear scope in mind, which are specific characters. Okay, is that bad? I would think it's a problem if we had no other echo sets and only the echo sets aimed at specific characters would be released. Then I think it's kind of shitty, right? But as we already have good echo sets that are already working, And let's be honest, there's not too much to work on when it comes to echo sets. Being a little more specific to also balance the general and the specific, I don't think it's that bad. Okay, I genuinely don't think it's that bad. I just hope they don't go for this specific only route. And from time to time, they also release more generalist echo sets to kind of balance out this new echo set releases. Okay, then we have, as I commented, the Lady of the Sea hologram challenge, which I'm really curious to see, especially because I love her music. And then we reach the optimizations tab, which is incredible. So they reworked the flight mechanic, which means you don't need to have like higher ground anymore. You don't need specific tech to be able to fly. Just pressing the flight button, your character will already jump and fly. You don't need this crazy acrobatics anymore. And Jinzhou and Black Shores will also have flight. Okay, and something they warned during the live stream, and I agree, is that new regions cannot have flight. Okay, and why do I agree with that? Because they need more freedom to create more region-specific mechanics for traverse, right? Instead of just flying everywhere, having new mechanics and different traversing options depending on the region is really cool. And I'm really hoping that Kuro Games can actually work on new and refreshing traversing mechanics, because let's be honest, flight is getting a little bit stale. Some permanent events were also reworked. And what does that mean? Fantasies of Thousand Gateways not only had a UI update, which, you know, improved a lot of the flow of the event, but there's also new buffs, and the Lucid State Dream is not automatic anymore. When you stack it fully, you can choose if you want to activate it or not. There's also 2 new floors in the middle tower of COA, which are around 50 asteroids each for completion, and another overdrive zone which will be available. Also, that buff from Wuthering Waves is not going to be procced anymore by killing a specific wave, rather by stacking. I think it's called Ember. Yeah, Ember. During combat, you will stack it, and after it's fully stacked, you'll get, for example, your ult resets. You get 100% crit rate. Instead of being in a specific wave, is now stackable, and you can basically stack it faster if you want to. Okay. There's also a record sync feature to TOA and WeWa, and each cycle refresh will now automatically clear floors based on the progress you've made on the last cycle. What does that mean? Probably the 2 side towers will be completed automatically, or maybe all of them. I'm not sure. Okay, I hope it's not all of them, because it kind of takes out the fun of the game mode. But yeah, there is also that for people who don't have time. More exploration. Okay, now not only your character upgrade materials can be tracked on the map, but minerals can also do that as well. And now we can have trackers on Jinzhou as well. Okay, so if you're like me and you're at like 99% in some regions of Huanglong, you can now use the tracker to complete it fully. So it's a good addition, especially for new players who may be kind of lost, and old players that, like me, haven't cleared the entire map yet. There's now a new gallery of weapons, not only characters. So you can see the details and the passives of the weapons before pulling them, or if you want to plan for a specific weapon, you can check what it does. A lot of interfaces have been updated as well to include one-click collection, which means you don't have to click each one, you know, annoying. So now you can only click one and everything will be collected. And this applies to the weekly game modes, to your achievement tabs, and all the other menus that didn't have this yet have been updated to include this, okay? There's also keyboard shortcuts added to PC, which will improve the flow of the game a little bit, but not too much. But again, I can only give my honest thoughts on it when we actually use them. And as kind of a closing note here, there's also been a new update to graphic cards. Okay, FSR3 option will be available for certain AMD cards, and this ZSS2 option will be available for certain Intel cards, and also being added an NVIDIA DLSS 4 and multi-frame generation will also be added. So finishing off our optimizations tab, we have the new resonators, Augusta and Uno. And as I said, they would be divided between the chapters. So the first chapter will be about Augusta. So Augusta will be on banner with Carlotta and Shorekeeper. And on the second half, which is probably the second story quest, will be featuring Yuno and Chacona. Okay? And of course, their weapons, Thunderflare Dominion and Moongazer Sigil, as well as new weapons on the insider channel of the Battle Pass. Okay? And for the event, we have the Hunt of Ash and Steel, which is an exploration event, just like Sangue Plateau Travel Atlas, which is, I believe, the same thing as the Renacita one. And the Prince of Plateaus, which is the, the photos minigame. And then we have Title Defense Simulator, which is one I'm really looking forward to. As the name suggests, it is tower defense mode, where you won't use your character's damage. You're more inclined to use the traps and the different mechanics, so I'm really looking forward to that. We have our 7-day login event. We have the second coming of Solaris, which is also looking pretty fun. Okay, looking pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. Marks of the Wild, which is a puzzle style event to track specific TDs that are hiding under the Dark Tide's influence. So yeah. Moonlit Revelation is a small event that will give us buffs daily, so it can also help us as well. I'm not sure. Beyond the Race Renacita is the good old Lolo logistics, free materials just by playing the game. Wind Rider Project is the event we have to play to unlock flight in Jinzhou and Black Shores. And Back to Solaris is a returning event for players that have been offline and coming back to the game now. You can invite your friends if you have any. So for now, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty fast update. It's really good. It's looking really nice. A lot of great events, a lot of great characters, 2 new chapters of the story quest, and a fuck ton of optimizations and changes to current mechanics. So I'm pretty hyped for version 2.6, and now I want to hear from you who reached this point of the video. What do you think of the version 2.6? Do you have any theories on the quests and characters? Do you have any thoughts on these optimizations or events? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.